let's move on here to letter E. So I'll write down BEDMAS again here. And we can, remember we want to get rid of add or subtract first, then any multiply and divide, and lastly any exponents. We haven't dealt with any brackets here. So I like the order things are written. The x is first, then the number. So I will get rid of the addition by subtracting. -7 and -7. So those are gone. So I have an x over 3 is equal to 14 minus 7, which is 7. Now I have, so that's that. Now I'm looking at division and multiplication if there are any. I do see a division, so I'm going to need to multiply. Now, again, I've mentioned this in the past, but if there's a 3 on the denominator, when I times, I'm going to have to put it up on the numerator on both sides. Now, there is no denominator here, so I can just put the 3 there. There is a denominator. It is a 1, but we just don't write it. Now that there's a 3 on the numerator and the denominator, we can cancel those. X is equal to 7 times 3, which is 21. The next question here, letter F. I do like the order, x and then the number. I'm going to get rid of the subtraction here to deal with those. So there's going to be a +5 and a +5, and that way -5 and +5 are gone. I'm just going to zoom out a bit here. 10 plus 5 is 15. So there's my equal sign here. There we go. 10 plus 5 is 15. And there's a negative x over 2. Now there's a division, so that would be our next stage, so we can get rid of a division. And then, like I said before, I'm going to put the 2 up on the numerator so that it can cancel with the denominator. And whatever I do to the right, I'll have to do to the left. Now I'm going to do a couple things here. I'm going to put a 2 up there, so those will cancel, but I'll also make it a negative, because that way the negative will cancel with that negative. And whatever I do to the right, I'll do to the left, so I'll make the left a -2 as well. On the right-hand side, the 2's are gone, the negatives are gone. All we're left with is the x, which was the whole goal, to get x alone. And we multiply by -2 on the right, so we'll do that to the left. And -2 times 15 is -30. And there's that. So I got rid of the -5 by adding, and I got rid of the 2 by multiplying, but I also put the negative in there to cancel with that. All right, letter G. Now, BEDMAS here, you can see we want to get rid of the add or subtract. So if I can actually erase this, let's see. Nope, there we go. So I'm going to do the add or subtract first, so that'll be gone. I'll get rid of the +4 by minusing it. 4 minus 4 is gone. There's my equal sign right here. 40 minus 4 is 36. And there's just an x squared left over. Now, I got rid of the addition. So any division or multiplication. So I look at this equation. There's no division and there's no multiplication. Okay, so there's none of those. Then there's an exponent. Yes, there is an exponent. So I will square root. And those, like we learned in the couple of videos ago, those cancel, leaving with only an x. And the square root of 36 is 6, but like those videos, you have to put a plus or minus. And then that would deal with the exponent. Whoops. That would deal with, where is that? There we go. That would deal with the exponent. And then there is no brackets. So you notice here, we dealt with the addition or subtraction, we skipped the division multiplication, and then went right to the exponents. Now let's look at letter H. So first we're going to deal with any addition and subtraction. There are none. Okay. Then I have to do division or multiplication. So let's take a look. Oh, I do have a multiply here. So that says multiplied by 3, so I will do the opposite, which is divide by 3. Divide by 3 on both sides. And then that can be gone. And that leaves me on the left side with an x squared, and on the right side with a 4. So x squared equals 4. So let's take a look here. So I did my division multiplication. Now that leaves me with only the exponent to get rid of. Yeah, I have an exponent, so I will square root, and those will cancel. Now on the left is, oh, here's my equal sign. On the left, I've got an x. Square root of 4 is a 2. And like I said in the previous one, whenever you have a square root and a square that cancel, you have to remember that it's a plus or minus 2. And if you think about that, the plus or minus 2, if you think about it, I could put a 2 into here. A 2 squared got me 4. But I could also put a negative 2 in here, because negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and negative times negative is a positive, and that's what we have here. It doesn't have a plus sign, but it is a positive 4. So positive 2 squared gets me 4, but also negative 2 squared will get me 4. So there's those two answers. And I'll just put a box around that. And then we'll zoom out here. And so these are the other questions. And actually, I'll zoom out a little bit further so you can see all of example 4. That's it for chapter 1. And we'll do, in the next one, we'll do brackets. But what we'll also do in these multi-steps, so as soon as you go to 3 or 4 steps, you're looking at what happens if there's an x on the left and an x on the right. So we're going to look at combining like terms, and we'll do brackets, and that's going to be probably the biggest section. And then after that, we'll look at what about fractions. So that will be in chapter 2 and then chapter 3.